Let's talk about some more problems in vectors, this time about the multiplication of vectors. So over here we have a question where we have two vectors, a vector as 3i minus 4j plus 5k and b vector as minus 2i plus j minus 3k. Now upon these two vectors, first of all we have to carry out the dot product, then we have to carry out the cross product using both the standard method and the determinant method. We will see each of the methods in detail. Let's start with the dot product. So over here I consider the two vectors and I write them in their proper format. Now I know that dot products are distributive in nature and I can simply open the brackets. Now at the same time I know that I dot I, j dot j and k dot k are equal to 1. Why? Because the definition of dot product says a dot b is simply magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cos of angle between them. Now the angle between the two i's will simply be 0 and the magnitude of each of the I will be 1. So it will come out to be 1 into cos of 0, which will be 1. So whenever a unit vector is dotted with itself, the answer is simply 1. Now at the same time we know that I dot j, j dot k, k dot I, etc. and their reverses, the dot product comes out to be 0 because the angle between each I, j and k is 90 degrees and cos 90 is simply 0. So in the dot product's definition, 1 into cos 90 will give me 0 answer. So after opening the brackets, the only terms with the same unit vectors will be 3 into minus 2 because that will be I dot I, minus 4 into 1 which will be j dot j and 5 into minus 3 which will be k dot k. So the final answer I will get is minus 6 minus 4 minus 15 will come out to be minus of 25. So the dot product between these two vectors simply came out to be minus 25. Now let's talk about the cross product between these two vectors. So over here we have a cross b and I have written them in the proper format. Now I know that cross product is also distributive in nature. I can open the brackets for each of them. After I open the brackets, I must remember that whenever a unit vector is crossed with itself, the result is always 0 because the angle between them is 0. The definition of cross product is a cross b comes out to be mod of a into mod of b into sine of theta between them n cap. Now sine of 0 degrees comes out to be 0 and hence whenever a vector is crossed with itself, the cross product is always 0. And then carrying forward, I cross j comes out to be k, j cross k comes out to be I and k cross I comes out to be j. For that, if you remember, we talked about this wheel where we can easily find the values of these cross products. For more information, you can watch the cross product video once again. And similarly, j cross I comes out to be minus k cross j comes out to be minus I and I cross k comes out to be minus j. So once I take care of these values and I put it all in the opened expression that I get, I'll essentially obtain this final expression as my answer. And again reducing it down to I, j and k values, I obtain my cross product as 7i minus j minus 5k, which is my result. Now we'll try to do the same cross product using the determinant method. So for that, I once again write in the proper cross product format, but this time instead of opening the brackets, I'll create the right determinant which will help me find this cross product. Now how do I create the determinant? I have I, j and k cap written in the top row. Then I have the components of first vector which is 3, minus 4 and 5 written in the second row. And then components of the last vector which is b vector written here, minus 2, 1 and minus 3. If at all I carried out b cross a, I would write the components of b vector first and then the components of a. But because I'm carrying a cross b, I'm writing it in this specific way. Now we have to start solving this determinant. In order to know the exact method of solving, please go back and watch the video of cross product using determinant method. Now once you have understood the method, all you have to do is start solving, which comes out to be the first element of the first row multiplied to the elements of this square. So I cap multiplied to minus 4 into minus 3 minus of 5 into 1, minus 4 into minus 3 minus of 1 into 5. Next I choose the second element, but I have to choose it with a minus sign. So j cap, we have minus j cap into this square now, 3 into minus 3 minus of minus 2 into 5, 3 into minus 3 minus of minus 2 into 5. And finally I have to choose the third element of the first row which is k cap, multiply it within this square. So k cap multiplied by 3 into 1 minus of minus 2 into minus 4. So over here I have k cap into 3 into 1 minus of minus 2 into minus 4. If I simply calculate the value of each of these numbers, I'll obtain my cross product as 7i minus j minus 5k. Cross product solution using determinant method is a very quick way to calculate it. I hope this entire concept was very clear to you. Thank you.